I am so incredibly happy with the homeschool year that my fourth grader has had. She has had quite a few hits, a couple of misses, and a couple of hits that is not going to be returning for this reason or another. But it has been a very good year for her. So jumping right in, for language arts this year, we did Christian light education, and I went into it very apprehensive, only to be blown away and pleasantly surprised by how much she enjoyed it. She is not my workbook child. She is, for certain things, she's not my workbook child. She is very much my creative, and so I'm learning her as she grows and learning what works best and different things like that. And Christian light education worked so well for her this year. The language arts level 3, she found it to be very simple and straightforward and easy for her to go into it, understand what the expectations were of her, complete those, and move on and learn and build and grow. And so she thoroughly enjoyed CLE Language Arts Level 3 this year. Unfortunately, we will not be continuing with CLE Language Arts, not because it didn't work, but because I need to break apart some concepts. And as they get older, what I have found is that certain things they excel in, whether it's they do really good in grammar but need a lot more help with writing or spelling or this or that, and I'm beginning to see that in her. And so the best way for me, or the best way that I have found in the past to attack that, is to break apart the different subjects when it comes to language arts and allow more advanced work in certain areas and less advanced in others. And I'm not really able to do that with the language arts. But it's not because it wasn't a hit in our year this year. It was actually one of the highlights of her homeschooling this year. Continuing with language arts, for spelling this year, she did not do the CLE spelling that was incorporated in the language arts because I know that she's always struggled with spelling. So I wanted to have her do a separate spelling so I can really assess how well she's doing with spelling. We did the Evan Moore spelling level 4 book, and she did okay with it. She didn't hate it, but it wasn't necessarily her favorite, is how she described it. She said it was okay. I found that she did excellent with that workbook style spelling of just having spelling bee spelling, and then she moved on and just focusing on those set of words for the week. I found that her spelling improved a lot. We also did CLE reading level 4, and this was a hit and a miss. She actually thoroughly enjoyed the reader. She said, "Mom, I love this reader." She loved the reader. Like, she reads it for fun. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But the actual workbook, she did not like at all. She did not. She struggled really hard with the light unit of reading 4, and it was a battle to get her to do it or to look for it. I think it was just too much. So that was a miss. Once she was done with reading 4, because reading 4 was actually only 5 light units. So once she was done with that, we ended up going on to Explode the Code, and she loved Explode the Code 4. Like, loved it. Like, Explode the Code has been a hit for all my kids. I have not had a child who has not loved Explode the Code. I don't know what it is about it. To me, it's just like a regular workbook, but to them, it is like a highlight. It is something that they look forward to. It's something that helps them to feel accomplished. So she loved Explode the Code. Coming into this year, I really wanted to work on writing, building the skill of writing in a stress-free environment. because writing is something that is very difficult for her. And so we did journals in which I had her every single day sit down, and she had a spot on the top for her to draw, blank lines on the bottom, and she just wrote kind of like an open journal, like, what are your expectations for the day? How's your day going? Whatever she wanted to write, just getting in the habit of writing just to write. And then she drew a picture. She loved that. She thrived, you know. She looked forward to getting her thoughts out on paper. She said that she loved being able to express herself. So that was for sure a hit. In addition to that, we did different creative writing type things. We did the Draw Right Now books. We did the Good and the Beautiful, the creative writing book. We did write a poem pick a poem from a poetry book, write the poem, draw a picture, that type of stuff. All of that was a hit. That worked out very well in our home and worked out very well for her. The ability to incorporate drawing with writing really helped for her to succeed when it comes to this informal form of writing. Now, handwriting though. Handwriting. This was a miss, y'all. I'm thinking handwriting without tears was gonna be a hit, y'all. I thought there wasn't gonna be any tears because it's handwriting without tears. There was some tears. I was wrong. So that was a miss. That was a miss. I did the cursive handwriting without tears, and she could not get it. She ain't get it. I don't know. She did not get it. But we're gonna be trying something new next year, and I hope it works. But in the meantime, typistry, y'all. We focusing on typing, because I mean, if we can't write it, at least we could type it up and present and give it to the teachers, right? So typing wise though, crushing it. Typistry was such a hit. She's almost done with all her lessons. It was such a hit for her. Typing has improved so much. She's typing so much better than I was typing in the 4th grade. So amazing. 100% recommend it. It was fun. It was engaging. It was the typing course that we needed. So that was a hit. Her readers were one of the biggest surprises of our school year this year, was how much reading we had. We have had a reading explosion this year, guys. I cannot get her enough books for her to consume. She consumed all of the readers that I had gotten for her from the beginning of the year within the first quarter. Then she began to read some other things. Now she's into the Percy Jacksons and different things like that. I mean, anything I give her, she reads it, she consumes it. She's just reading all the time. Her reading has blossomed over the past school year, and I think it honestly stemmed from giving her really good books. We started with the Sunlight Level 4 readers list, and I got all those, and then we went on to readers off of Biblioplan. Then we went on to, girl, go to the library, pick out a book, because I cannot afford any more books right now. I passed my book budget. So it was just consumption after consumption after consumption when it comes to reading. She truly thrived when it came to reading. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same thing about math. So we did Christian Light Education's math. We've always done 2 maths. I'll talk about the second one. But the first one was, we did CLE math level 3. She learned. So I don't want it to be she didn't learn. She learned. And I'll go more into this in another video. But she learned when it came to math. She was challenged when it came to math. But it she ain't like it. She ain't like it, y'all. She did not like the amount of problems per page when it came to how much work she had to do. She was easily overwhelmed by all the problems, so she showed up in this state that already set her up for failure when it came to her schooling. Like, because it wasn't that big of a deal. But because she already was in this mentality, it's like she self-sabotaged when it came to math. When it came to Christian Light Education math. And so once she finished with CLE 3, I was like, let's take a break, okay? Let's switch to something else. Let's do something just completely different. Rather than moving on ahead, let's master the concepts that you've already been taught. Because I'm like, maybe if we drill in these facts and we master these like simple things, the long subtraction problems or the new introduced multiplication and division won't be so difficult. And so we switched over to Matthew C. Gamma. Y'all, child fell in love. She fell in love. She's like, Mom, she looks forward to math. She is somebody that is visually overwhelmed. And I already knew that, which is why I went with a simpler, like, math, like CLE, which is not all colorful and stuff like that. But I didn't realize that she was also visually overwhelmed by the amount of problems on a sheet. So with Matthew C, it's maybe 20 problems altogether, front and back. It's one sheet. And just that concept to her helped her go into it with oh, I can do this. I can do 20 problems. That's not a big deal. And so that, she just thrived. She just thrived off of Gamma. She loved it so much. And she's begging to continue with Matthew C. Teaching textbooks, always been a hit. Continue to love. I didn't realize the similarities in the sense that, like, with teaching textbooks, they literally only do one problem at a time. And so her only seeing one problem at a time and working through that one problem at a time really helps her, as well as being able to get answers immediately. So having her not have to wait to know if she got the problem right or wrong, that instant feedback really helps her as well. So teaching textbooks was a hit, and Matthew C was a hit. Christian Light Education math was not for her. Every child is different. I have some kids who CLE, that's them all the way, and some kids who it's not. So I have a kid who teaching textbooks didn't work for, and for her it worked. So it's just very interesting to me to see the different dynamics in my kiddos and being able to adapt and cater to their needs. It's my job. Anyways, if you'd like to see the video of what our picks are for her going into the new school year, check out this video right here.